Hello, my lovable friends. Hope you are doing great. In today's session, we're going to talk about a topic that might seem very strange in the beginning, unless you are active in the field of defending animals' rights. I think it can be really difficult if you've got no preparation for such this topic. But hopefully, I'm going to share with you some very good ideas about this topic. So, if for your test, whether IELTS reading, IELTS writing, or IELTS speaking is concerned, you will have a lot of great top-notch ideas. So, without further ado, let's get started. Animals' rights, arguments for animal testing. So, in this part of the session, we're going to talk about different kinds of perspectives on this question. Animals are used in important scientific research. So, it's a fact because we cannot apply a lot of, let's say, methodology and tests on human brain or human body. Therefore, unfortunately, animals are being used. It is necessary to do medical tests on new drugs. So, as followed per the previous conversation, it makes sense that we don't have any other choice. Animal testing helps to advance medical and scientific knowledge. So, what is the purpose here, or what is the use of having animals in this kind of application? This is the answer. Animal testing helps. So don't forget to place that S as shows the singular format of this tense. To advance or promote or progress or improve. And then the next sentence. Many important medical discoveries involved experimentation on animals. So these, let's say, beginning of the sentence, many important medical discoveries. All of them can be regarded as the subject of the sentence. Involved. So here we have which are involved. Okay, but as an advanced user, the writer of this part has decided to omit it. And then we have experimentation on animals. So the preposition that has been used here is on. Researchers aim to minimize. Aim. So you can use other things like target or anything that might come to your mind. Minimize. Minimize means reduce. So minimize, decrease, reduce the suffering that animals experience. So, you know, the meaning of suffering is pain that is involved. Testing for the cosmetic industry is now banned in many countries. So, if you are looking for some, let's say, testing in the field of cosmetics like cream or lotion or anything that we use for beauty and skincare purposes, this use has been banned in many countries. So, of course, it's not global, but some countries have taken the first initiatives to ban this suffering and end that pain for animals. So, let's move to the next part where we're gonna talk about arguments against animal testing. So far, we've been talking about the meaning of animal testing and what it means and some background information. But now we are getting started with the arguments, firstly, which are against this topic. The benefits of research using animals do not justify the suffering caused. Very beautiful. The benefits, the advantages of research using animals do not. Remember, we should be using like that. Do not instead of don't. So you might ask, what happens if I write don't? Nothing special happens, but your score will be affected. How much? It depends on the number of the time that you do so. It's not just but one time, but definitely it will affect your score. Justify, so it means that we cannot do that. We cannot justify it. We cannot judge it. The suffering caused. So here, again, another part has been eliminated. Here you can say, do not justify the suffering that is caused. But we take that part away. But remember, as I always advise you, Go for this kind of a structure if you really feel comfortable and confident doing so. Otherwise, the original standard of saying so is better than making mistakes. There are alternative methods of research. It means we have more options. There are alternative methods. The lives of animals should be respected. So this is a very beautiful and logical sentence. The lives of animals. I cannot say the life of animals. So it has to be plural. Should be respected. It's a passive format. Should be respected. Humans have no moral right to do experiments on animals. Moral means something that is accepted. So humans have no moral right. So it means that we are not um, given the right to do such these activities on animals. We don't have the right. So those animals are the creatures, and we are the creatures as well. The fact that we do have more power does not justify the act of killing them or making them suffer. Alrighty, so we can say that most people who are truly trying to protect animals' rights can be vegetarians as well. So, in this part of our discussion, we're going to talk about this topic to see what are the, let's say, pros and cons related to being a vegetarian. Arguments for vegetarianism. Vegetarians do not eat foods that are produced by killing animals. So, here, as you can see, we can take that or vegetarians do not eat foods produced by killing animals. Many people choose a vegetarian diet for moral or health reasons. You might remember the word moral that we had in the previous discussion, moral right, if I'm not mistaken. So many people choose a vegetarian diet. So the diet that you have can be different. Some have vegetarian diet, some might not. For moral or health reasons. A healthy diet is possible without eating meat. So it means that people are not just restricted to eat meat to be alive. It is unnecessary to kill animals for food. If you've been talking to a vegetarian, you might have heard this argument and justification. A vegetarian diet may reduce the risk of diseases like cancer, may reduce. Something that would be very helpful, especially in your writing, is the use of these kind of modals like may, might. These things show that you are not like a dogmatic person with a very, very limited knowledge who tries to say that what I'm saying is completely correct. Instead, by using something like may and might, you show that it is something that might be true. It's a possibility. It is not a fact because the number of facts in this world is really, really limited. And if you want to say that everything is like this and that, your argument does not seem that much of validity. Many people question the treatment of animals in factory farms. So now maybe you would pose a question. That question is not a verb, but it is a verb as well. We usually use it as a noun. I do have a question. Yes, I have a question. But here it is used as a verb. Many people question the treatment of animals in factory farms, but you can use it differently. You can say many people pose the question of da da da. So this is the way that you can play with words and phrases in English, which makes it so beautiful because you've got a very different, let's say, application of using different kinds of structures while you mean exactly the same. So let's move on to see what else we are going to talk about. Okay, of course. Every discussion has two sides, arguments against vegetarianism. Vegetarians do not eat a balanced diet. So you can definitely use this beautiful noun phrase, a balanced diet. In many cultures, meat is the main ingredient in traditional meals. So it means that if you want to omit meat, you might have a lot of problems because traditionally a lot of food and cuisine are based on meat. Meat eaters argue that animals are below humans in the food chain. So this is the food chain, just above the animals, your humans, and then the animals, and probably later on with like the plants. So it means that they are justifying the fact that we can eat animals and have their meat. It is completely natural for us to kill them for food. So if you take a look at the nature, every predator or the wildlife, you can see the animal try to just feed themselves by just killing and eating other animals unless they don't like eating meat. Our aim should be to improve farming methods. So instead of, talking about the suffer and the pain that is involved in the process of killing animals, we can definitely do use our technology and this modern world that we live in to the advantage of lessening and minimizing the pain and suffering involved. Farms should produce organic food. So the farms should focus on the production of organic food. And now, as the topic of animals is concerned, we should be talking about zoos as well. Positives of zoos. Zoos play an important role in wildlife conservation. Play an important role in something. It's a very handy and useful structure that could be used in almost all topic. For example, education plays an important role in one's success. Um, a successful career plays an important role in one's happiness. See, you can definitely change and play with it, but this is a structure that you should definitely try to memorize and really learn. But remember, anything that you might like to remember and use should be learned correctly. So try to use it as the phrase so that you make examples and you really learn how to use it. Otherwise, you might be exposed to making mistakes. Zoos play an important role in wildlife conservation. Wildlife is about um, everything that is related to animals and nature. Conservation means protection. They can help to protect endangered species. Endangered means those animals which are getting, reduced in number. Like some animals in different parts of the world are endangered species. It means that if we do not protect them, and if it goes like it has been going, we might not have them in the future. Like dinosaurs in the past, they existed, but little by little they became endangered and finally they were extinct. Okay, species means different types of animals, different sorts of animals.